I'm here in the what I call the Iowa politics teaching headquarters. We got a lot of the posters back here from races and candidates, and we love to bring people here and interview them and work on Iowa politics. Public opinion is a very interesting topic, and of course we have a chapter on it. You know how opinions are shaped and formed and changed and how they work. I just wanted to make a couple of comments about Iowa public opinion. You have to remember that very often the political leadership pays attention to public opinion to a certain extent, but often simply ignores public opinion when the public opinion disagrees with the political position of those who are in authority. In Iowa, for example, I'll give you one good example. Over and over for decades, polls have shown that Iowans generally favor the death penalty. But Iowa doesn't have the death penalty. The legislature has decided that for a variety of reasons the death penalty is not something that they want to really get into. Partly it's because the death penalty is very expensive to carry out, as you probably know. It costs a lot of money to deal with all the appeals, and there are usually endless appeals for years and years. The other is for ethical reasons. A lot of people in Iowa, especially in the Democratic Party, don't think that the death penalty is morally justifiable. So even though most Iowans agree that the death penalty is something that they would support, the legislature has not enacted it in these years. The second issue is the issue of gay marriage, and again, polls show that Iowans are pretty divided on it, that there might be actually a majority of Iowans who are opposed to gay marriage as opposed to other rights for gay couples. And the legislature in 2010 was under a lot of pressure to put gay marriage on the agenda as a constitutional amendment. The Democrats said, no, we're not going to get into that. We have other issues to deal with, and the Democrats generally are supportive of the Iowa Supreme Court ruling on gay marriage, so never got on the ballot. At the same time, because public opinion, especially among Iowa conservatives and Republicans, is fairly strongly opposed to gay marriage or same-sex marriage, in the Republican Party, it has been a much more visible issue. So public opinion sometimes is more of a partisan issue, and the general public opinion of, let's say, the majority of Iowans may be kind of less important than the specific way that public opinion can be used to talk about political issues and address those in the politics of the state. So the Democrats, including Governor Culver in 2010, opposed putting gay marriage on the ballot. In the Republican primary, it was an issue, not as big an issue as I would have thought, but it did become an issue. The environment is an issue on which most Iowans are pretty much in agreement, that they are concerned about the groundwater contamination, the drinking water contamination, the quality of lakes and rivers, which is very poor in Iowa, and public opinion polls consistently show that Iowans would, of all different political persuasions, would like to see those problems with water quality corrected. And of course, in 2010, we've seen numerous polls, and Iowans are very much in sync with the rest of the United States on the issue of jobs. They're very concerned about the economy and the declining number of jobs, and would like to see economic growth, more companies hiring, more companies brought to Iowa, frankly, to stimulate the job market. So when we look at public opinion in Iowa, first of all, or to end this with, I guess I should say that at the state level, in a state like Iowa, you often really don't have that many really reliable scientific public opinion polls. They're very limited. They're on certain issues. The best poll in Iowa is a poll done by the Des Moines Register and a consulting firm that is associated with the Des Moines Register. And that's interesting because you probably know from reading my textbook and any other book as well that George Gallup of Gallup Poll was from Jefferson, Iowa. George Gallup is, if nothing else, the father of modern scientific public opinion polling. So when it comes to polls, we're very proud to be from Iowa because this is where modern public opinion polling actually began. So I hope you enjoy the material on public opinion polls. Take care.